Hi everyone, and welcome to the Target 25 Part 4 homework review. So as always, this covers the concepts we introduced in the Part 4 notes videos, and it specifically will help answer a couple problems you'll see on your Part 4 worksheet. And so those problems will be number 2, number 3, and number 5 today. And all of this deals with finding the volume of three-dimensional solids. And so we worked a lot with cylinders, triangular prisms, and rectangular prisms. And so you'll see that displayed here as well. So let's just get right to it. So find the volume of the solid, it says. Remember, our volume equation is our area of our base times the height of the prism. And so we have to identify the base, we have to figure out the area of it, and then we times it by the number um, that represents the distance in between our two bases. That's what we call the height of the prism or the cylinder. So here we go. If we have a cylinder, then our base is always a circle. So I'm going to draw that real quick. Here's our circle, and as you can see in that picture, which shows us that the radius is 5.2. So r is 5.2. Now, I don't know that it matters, but our diameter is twice as big. That would be 10.4 if we need it. But for now, the radius is 5.2, right? Now, here we go. So to find big B, which will be the area of that circle, which is our base, the area formula for a circle is pi r squared. So we want pi times 5.2 squared. And when we type pi times 5.2 squared into our calculator, clear that up, second pi, parentheses 5.2, close parentheses, n squared, we'll get the area of that base is roughly 84.9. So 84.9. So that's big B. And then the nice thing is we are actually given H. Here's why. See this? 9.8 centimeters going from the center of one circle to the center of the other. That's, if the circles are our bases, remember, that 9.8 is representing that distance that are in between our bases. And so the distance in between the bases is going to be what our height is, right? So that's H. So big B is 84.9, H is 9.8, and so our volume is going to be 84.9 times 9.8. And when we do 84.9 times 9.8, go back here, and I'm just going to hit times to save that value, then throw in 9.8. We get 832.5. 832.5 centimeters cubed. Remember, third power, cubic units for volume. And there we go. Excuse me. All right, now let's move to number 3. So number 3, we have a triangular prism. Remember, it's always named after the shape that creates the base. And so that means the base of this triangular prism is a triangle. I'm going to draw that. We need to find the area of this triangle. Now, one thing you'll see is the left side is 6, and then there are those tick marks through the front. And so all sides are 6. Now, that would be great to know if the perimeter mattered for volume. It would be simple to figure out, but perimeter does not matter. Remember, volume is just area of the base times the height. Now, real quick, we can figure out H. That's 4. That's this distance right here, and that's connecting our front triangle and our back triangle. So that's got to be the height of the triangular prism. But now we have to find big B. So we need to find the area of this triangle. Remember, the area of a triangle, little base times height divided by 2. So we do have a base. That's going to be like this 6, right? The side. But remember, our height has to be perpendicular, or a vertical line that creates a 90-degree angle with whatever we're considering our base. So that's our height right there, and we don't know it. But we've done this a bunch of times. Remember, drawing that line will cut the bottom in half, so each side will be 3. And then we can do, with this half of the triangle, h squared plus 3 squared equals 6 squared. We can figure out h. So h squared plus 9 equals 36. We'll subtract 9 from both sides. So h squared equals 27. And then we will take the square root of 27 to finally figure out what h is. and that is roughly 5.2. So that's our little height, and that's the h for our area of a triangle formula. So let's throw that in. Big B will then be, remember, our base of our triangle is just 6. So 6 times, and then our height is what we just found, 5.2, and then we got to divide that by 2. And 6 times 5.2 divided by 2 is about 15.6. So there's our big B. Remember, we already determined h over here, and so now we can find the volume. It's going to be 15.6 times 4. And when we do 15.6 times 4, we should get roughly 62.4. And that would be meters to the third power, meters cubed. And that is our answer right there. All right, perfect. Now, last one. We're going to work with a rectangular prism this time, right? Rectangular prism, meaning a rectangle is our base. But this time we know our volume. We need to work backwards to figure out x. Now, if we consider our base to be this bottom box, x is our height, right? Because our base is the bottom, which makes the top the other base, and that x is the distance that's connecting those two bases. So that'll be the height of our prism. So we're looking for the h in our volume equals big B times h formula. So what that means is, right, we know the volume, we need to find h, so we must know big B. Let's draw our base first. So 15 and 5. And remember, big B is the area of our base. This is just a rectangle. So the area of a rectangle is going to be little base times height. So in this problem, that's 15 times 5. And 15 times 5 is 75. And so if we're looking at our volume formula, we know big B, it's 75. We know the volume, it's 525. Only thing we don't know is h, so let's solve for it. So let's plug in 525 for volume. That'll equal 75 times h. And remember, h is really x, right? So that's what we're looking for. And we can even, if we want, change the h into x at this point in time. So 75 times x. So all we have to do is divide both sides by 75, and we'll have x by itself. And so x is on the right, and 525 divided by 75 is 7. So the height of this rectangular prism is 7 centimeters. And that's our final answer. All right, so I hope that helped. I hope that reminded you of a few things that we introduced in our note videos the other day. So keep working hard. If you still have questions on these things, please feel free to ask. Send me an email, pop into our Google Hangouts, whatever you are most comfortable with. I would be glad to help you. But let's keep working through part 4, and let's move into part 5 soon. Thank you very much for all your efforts. Have a great, great day.